I have an order to buy at 291.45, buying a small pullback, 4 bull bars in a row. So betting that we're going to need to go sideways and form a second entry if we're going to get a sell-off. Right, out there, 3 shares for 30 cents, so 90 cents profit. I just sold below this bar here, thinking 3 pushes up. This move up was strong enough that I thought we needed a second entry, and we got it here. So not a perfect signal bar, small tail on the bottom, but decent context, I think. And only risking 50 cents here. So if I get stopped out, I won't lose too much of my earlier profit. Looks like it's turning into a pretty decent bar here. So if we can close like this, that would definitely increase my chances of getting a nice move out of this. Got stopped out there. After this bar closed with a big tail, and we weren't able to push down on this bar, I was tempted to get out, but I didn't want to exit and then have the market move in my favor, so I thought it was worth it to just leave my stop where it is and see where it goes. It's a weird feeling. I feel like these are okay entries. Even the other day I had the same thing. Like this second entry. I mean, they're not high probability, but you'd think they're at least 40%, and looking for a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1, and I seem to be losing all of them. So either I'm wrong about the probabilities. I mean, they can't be that low probability where I'm just constantly losing these swings. So something's off with my read, I guess, or I'm just not picking the right swings. I'm not really sure. Like, just one of these I expect to at least go far enough for me to then decide down here if I want to stay in. But a lot of these are just stopping me out right away. So I'm not really sure how to feel about it, because I want to take these. I want to take good stop entry sells and stop entry trades. But it seems like it's not even moving enough for me to manage it down here. It's usually just stopping me out right away. So I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong there with those stop entries. With the limit order, like this one, I was comfortable with. I thought it was an okay trade. Even if I didn't get filled here, it went back up 3 bars later. So the limit order ones I seem to be okay with. Even yesterday here, selling above here, buying below here, I was comfortable with those. It's just these stop orders. I seem to be losing more than the probability would suggest. So I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I'm going to try to keep taking them, but eventually, if it keeps happening, then there's obviously something wrong with my read. But I think I managed the trade properly in the sense that I used small enough size where it didn't really matter to take away my initial gain. So I finished with 50 cents up, so only lost 40 cents on the trade. And I did that knowing that I'm really not good with stop entries. In order to sell the high of that bar, looking for 20 cents down. My thought here is that I obviously got stopped out on the stop entry here. We got a new high, 2 new highs, and then 4 consecutive bear bars. So I think that increases the chances that we don't get a new high right away, and that we have to get sideways first and a second entry if we're going to go higher. Obviously, if this is a big bull bar closing near its high, I'll just look to get out break even. And so now I'm at $1.10. So it made up for that trade and a little bit more than what I had initially. So $1.10 profit, and I'll see if I can find anything else. I'm willing to sell below this bar if it closes on its low. I sold 2 shares below this bar, risking 30 cents. So I'm at $1.10 profit right now. So if I lose this, which based on my streak is likely, I'll go back down to 50 cents. So not risking all the profits from today. But my thought here is that we have a bull channel. It is a tight bull channel, but we got a climax above it and a second climax above it. And then we got a sell signal bar. So 2 climaxes up above the channel. I'm thinking that the minimum target is the bottom of the channel, which is not far away, but it's at least enough for 50 cents, 60 cents. It looks like I'm going to get stopped out here. It's very possible that I just don't have an edge with these reads. I'm seeing something that I think is repeatable and that I see often, but I'm just not executing properly. So in my read here, I might not have an edge, and I have to go back to these examples and find out exactly what I'm doing wrong and where the edge actually starts to materialize. So it could be that I'm seeing these patterns, but I'm only seeing them after 3 or 4 consecutive bear bars. And if that's the case, then the edge only starts to happen when there's 3 to 4 consecutive bear bars, and I should stop entering on just a signal bar. So obviously all the examples I have a signal bar at the top, but the ones that work out have 3 or 4 consecutive bear bars. So I should maybe wait, just wait for that and then enter, instead of doing what I'm doing, if I continue to lose these. All right, so I have an order to exit 1 share at the trend line. Just exited 1 share there, and I'll leave the other share in case we start to get consecutive bear bars. And most likely, if we don't get a strong break below the trend line, I'll exit above a good bull bar. It's nice to have one finally work out at least decently to my first target. I thought I was going to get stopped out here, but looks like there were sellers above that, so that might have been a better sell, to sell above there instead of below it. Looks like I'm finally getting a move down that I imagined when I took the stop entry sell. For the last like 2 weeks, I've been taking stop entry sells looking for a swing, and it just never looks the way it should, and this finally does. Now it's a really tight bull channel, so it's not going to go down forever, but the trend line and then getting to the trend line and then the trend line break is what I was looking for. And so it's nice to see that I'm at least getting something right with these swings, and that what I'm imagining, even though it doesn't work out a lot of the time, that it is a valid signal, and it is often, if it does work out, it can be the high of the move. So it's nice to see it work out here. Even though we have a 5-bar microchannel and 3 bear bars closing on their lows, if this bar closes on its high and it triggers, I'll exit above it. But if it's a doji or a bear bar, I'll stay in. I'm thinking I might exit at 30, 293.30, just because we're getting into these congestion areas and it's already a pretty big move. It's like a dollar move. Okay, so not a good buy. Actually, I probably shouldn't be exiting there, because there's probably sellers there. Not sure. Already a pretty decent move up, so a pretty decent move down. So I will exit there. So at 184, I don't think that was a good exit. It didn't close on its high. I just didn't want to give up too much of the move and sit through a deep pullback. So a little bit too aggressive, I think. But what I was hoping for is just a bar closing right on the open, so complete doji, no bull body, because it's had a slight bull body, and because I didn't want to give up too much of the gains. I exited above, but I think there's sellers above here and probably have to go to a new low. So maybe a little bit too aggressive on the exit. If I'm worried about a deep pullback, that might be an area, maybe on the close, to exit half or exit some portion, but I can't exit above because that's already exiting a bit high. And there's probably sellers above there. And so here, got the new low. So I think that was expected. That was a bad exit.